Last year, as I was studying in university, I always had the dream of rebuilding the university team. Dublin over in Ireland, I dreamt of it, I had a plan, only to log into this FIFA and find out they've been relegated.
I feel physically sick, to be honest.
Ruining my hopes and dreams and now leaving me to make my own team. Because whilst I was at university, I wasn't really a good footballer. And we're going to try and work our way up, having the youngest team in English football towards the Champions League, but with some very strict objectives, because we can only sign players that would be going to university. Yes, people, it's not the real-life Dublin squad, but it is some players with some very young ages in and around the team, as there we go. We've got some younger players, and because this is a university rebuild, I've gone and tried to find my hat, and I've found it, but you can't really see it. I'm going to have to move my chair down. I think I just broke my chair. Never mind, I've fixed it, but yeah, I've got the hat on. I'm going to throw this up when we win the Champions League, you know. Like university people throw their hat up. I never actually got to do that, as here we are in League 2. We have replaced Carlisle, who are bottom of the English football leagues. And we've got £1 million to spend, so we've got to try and utilise that. But like I said, in a way, a university really would. As the rulings today are we can only sign players between the age of 18 and 21 when you would go to university, or here in the UK or England or the university I went to anyway, as next the rule is we can't have over 27-year-olds in the squad. So see all these players up to Lee Bowen, who I'm also releasing, we cannot keep them. We have got to kick them out of our team. And some would say that's the age when players reach their prime. But nope, I'm not having it, and I'm also not having a good scout. Jackson Newton is 1 star, 1 star, and that's what we're given. Okay, this is going to be difficult. I'm going to go on 2 scouting missions, send the same scout out once. I'm going to send him out at the start of the save for the first month, and because this is Dublin, we go into Ireland. I'm so annoyed they got relegated, and then we're going to look for a midfielder, and then we will go to England for the second month and look for wide players. See what we can find, as these are the current players in the academy. We're going to have to rely upon this at the start. We've got Gaspard Besnard, what a name, and then we've got Knockway, then we've got Ethan Barton, then some players that look really stinky in the ratings. Only one of them could get promoted, as Oscar Hills we can keep for a while. Benjamin Field will have to go. And also Mark Thomas. We're going to end up booting a lot of players out this team, as we've got to go counter-attacking. We've got to have a deep line because we won't survive in League 2. Seriously, this situation's similar to Morecambe in real life, who had money troubles and signed a lot of youngish players. Or I think they did, as I've got to promote this man, Ethan McEwen. The Grimsby legendary goalkeeper was named after him, so I'm gonna keep him alongside a couple more guys, but none of them actually 16 yet, meaning they can't play in the first team, and we might have to keep those over 27 just for the first season, as we're going to recall our scout, then send him to England and look for those wide players. And don't you worry, we won't just be going to England and Ireland. We're going to go all over the world searching for all types of talent. And also, we don't just have to sign from our academy. We can look for players between 18 and 21, no younger. Here in England, can't go to uni at 16. I don't think anyway. Unless you skipped college, as we found a player, Samar Ahmed. And I've been cheeky about the wage, but we have just signed a youngster to go straight into our team, and we've also found 2 players that can go into the side now in Chamberlain and Peter Baxter. Unfortunately though, none of them playing despite one reaching a 60 rating. And let's just hold our horses here. I'm getting excited over a 60 overall, showing the level that this team's at, but we do have Ahmed at a 75 at 19-year-old. Do we sell him straight away? He's too good for the level, let's be honest. 6'5", and I believe, yes, for a centre-back, he has 5-star skills, so I think he's too good for League 2 level. And also, by the way, if you're wondering why our ratings were so good, I tried to release the old players, but we can't even afford the release fees. That is how bad we are. It is a marathon, not a sprint. As hey, we wouldn't have been relegated if this was real life. We finished 22nd, and in League 2 to only 2 relegation spots at the moment. It looks like Morecambe and Carlisle, who will be going down as we beat a Prem team in Nottingham Forest in the FA Cup before losing to Luton in round 4. And that should have got us a little money as we lost in round 2 of the Carabao Cup. Our top scorer was a guy called Ethan Joyce, who is already 27, so we will have to get rid of him. We won't have to get rid of Michael Weston though. A pretty alright striker, but still he's 59 rated. This is a marathon, not a sprint. This save could take absolutely ages, but I want to throw this hat in the air and I want some luck from you guys, so please smash that like button. Don't forget, absolutely hammer it, because it does help us with the algorithm. As this season, where has that come from? £5 million, and I was speaking about selling our best player in Ahmed, which I still might do. He's left-footed, he needs to be on that left-hand side, because we could afford some scouts. We could help the team grow if he was sold. The money we would receive for the Moroccan is club changing. As speaking of club changing, we definitely need to do that, releasing these players that are too old as our academy. At least we've got some players coming through now who can be promoted, including a 62 rated Besnard, which you love to see, as I'm going to have to come out of this deep shape now and change our formation to one with 2 cams, because our cams are our youngest good players in Chamberlain and Besnard, as this is the team we are currently rocking. We definitely need to look for a full back, also some wingers, a lot of things really, as I'm going to utilize our current scout, and I'm going to go outside of the box. I'm going to go to Indonesia. I do see all of those comments asking for it, so there we go. And then I'm also going to buy a scout, a better one, Dexter Barnett, and he's going to go to Iceland, because like I say, this is a Dublin team, although the team was relegated. Again, I cannot believe it. And then that's that. We'll leave it at 2 scouts, maybe 3 if we sold Ahmed, as then I'm going to look for some players between 18 and 21 in the free agent market first, as Fran Aguirre, the goalkeeper, Zisco Barrios, the centre-back. It does seem cheating with how good they are. And Emiliano Bellini. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wait on signing them, see what happens with our own academy, because I'd rather make our own good players before signing new ones. And again, I told you that cam position's important. As Alan Clancy's our best player, then we've got Neil Glynn, Dikau Riwit, and a lot more, as this is the team. You'll think it's changed, and that is because it has. I've released everybody over 27, making this a true youthful squad. Yes, I know 26 is still technically old. It's like a teacher being in the team with the university pupils. However, we've still got to stand a chance, and I do want to sign some of them free agents, but only £2 million left, and I do want to keep our centre-back now. Maybe one more season from the Moroccan, just to up that overall more, so when we sell him, we can afford some coaches, because I think that could do us a favour. However, for now, we need a goalkeeper, and yes, I know these free agents are good players, but we do have to remember, if they hit the age of 27, they are gone. So yes, we've signed Bellini, and we've also signed Aguirre. They should be technically studying at Dublin University. That's the only way you get in the team, and they've actually cost that much money. We lose 4 players for it, so yes, they are good, technically. 2 of the highest rated at the club, alongside Ahmed, who was our other signing. Now on the transfer list, but I don't know if them 2 are going to carry us, especially when outscored by our youngster Besnard Bellini, and then, well, them goals don't fill me with promise, because we will stay in League 2. We finished 15th in the table with a gold-rated FIFA card. If Ahmed was in Ultimate Team, he would be gold, even maybe rare. And yes, I know that's a picture of Hakimi, but just take my word for it. This is a terrible season. A defeat in round 2 of the FA Cup and a defeat in round 2 of the Carabao, alongside back-to-back bottoming our group in the BSM trophy. It's embarrassing really, isn't it? I mean, we did just sign 2 players way too good for this league, and now We're losing players, paying the price for it. And speaking of paying the price, I think it is time that Ahmed goes and we work on getting this team, or the players already at the team, growing by using coaches, because £2 million to spend is probably just enough for our academy. Or maybe just one more scout? We can go 3 scouts, although we can't afford the best one. However, if we do sell our Moroccan player, maybe we could go and buy him. Then fill our squad with youth players, get our tactics working to get them players developing, get us flying up the leagues. We cannot be in League 2 going into next season as Glyn. He changes to a 63. That's proof that coaching works. For the players already at the club, as a 10 million offer for Ahmed. He has gone. He's outgrown us. He is way too good for League 2 level, allowing us to buy the scout, but it's actually reset our options. So what I've gone and done, I sacked our 1-star scout, and then I got the option of a 5-star Moretti. No, not the beer, but this amazing scout that I am going to send to Iceland, because Grimsby, the team I support, has just got a very good Irish player who is an attacker, so I'm going to try and look for them forward positions. With Barnett going defensively, I really want him to find something in Ireland, and Randall's gone Malaysia. I just want to see if he can find a central player. As whilst we wait for them players they find, coaches, that was number 2 priority. And also releasing everybody over 27. That was priority number 3. However, priority number 1 was utilizing our academy, and look at some of the players we found. These look like world beaters. Promoted them academy players, as speaking of promotion, 3rd time lucky. We're a work in progress team. Genuinely give me the job of building up a team. I'm not going to lie. I think I'll do it perfectly. Any team, anytime. Respect. As no luck in the FA Cup though, just lost to Doncaster, has also put that trophy in, because we did just win a bloody title. As we also exit the FA Cup in round 2, I don't care. As the Bristol Street Motors, at least we did reach round 2 for once. No win there, but off the field, I'll tell you, we are winning! Some 70 rateds in the squad, and we just sold one of our 77s. Some position changes as well. We've got Hamducci, the Malaysian, playing at left back, and then McGlynn, he changed from being a DM. Loving the Irish spine of this side. I think we need to do that because we are Dublin, as the highest rated, of course, is Fran Aguirre. Bettinelli was up there as well. And we've got so many cams at the club. They are all contributing goals, with Bettinelli sitting on top. League 1 football now, and it doesn't get any easier. Yes, we do have the amazing ratings, but what about the age of players? 27 is that cutoff point where they must be released. As Connor Whitehead's on that barrier, Oscar Hills is very close, and he's our main midfield man. All the rest of our midfielders are cams, so I think that's the position we focus on, and that's where we go to the academy, enjoying the work we're doing here, as I believe this season we go with all 3 scouts. We loan a lot of players out, and then next season when we reach the championship, or when we do, getting ahead of myself, we make the scouts go to 2, and then when we're in the Premier League, we only send out 1 scout. I feel that is actually the best tactic, as the first is going to the Maldives, then I'm going to scout in Ecuador, and I've got to stick with the Republic of Ireland. This is an Irish team after all. There's only 4 million in the budget, as yes, we had that season where we did sign 2 very good players, but it's going to be very hard to replicate the success of finding Bellini and Aguirre, who actually has turned 21-year-old, because we're not getting the money, as the Maldives scout has done the best, finding Musa, Thakan, also Bunner, Nasir. Also, there's an Ecuadorian centre-back in Gallardo, and Arthur Magnuson. Now we're going to get loan listing. However, 3 million still left, so them players not expensive, and I want to just find one quality centre mid, one that can carry us through and is from a nation we haven't scouted yet. And oh, by the way, I left out a really crucial rule in this one. Now we are out of League 2, 0 free agents allowed, making this a lot harder, but then there is some cheap players in Belgium, like Matteo Leroy, who will cost under $1 million. However, with strict transfers turned on, he's actually cost quite a bit. Oh, and look at that for a gap in the table. We did so well this year. After bouncing up to this level, we were in limbo between 2nd and 4th. Still, that's a chance at the playoffs in League 1, first time of asking. And in the FA Cup, a decent run, only beaten by Chelsea, who won the overall competition, but beaten by Oxford in the Carabao. Which also is quite funny, because that's a place known for its university, which I'll tell you now, I was not smart enough to study at. I didn't even apply for it. I'm not being salty at all, as we lost to Blackburn in the BSM Trophy. Blackburn in League 1, and I didn't even see them in the playoffs, as we hammered Barnsley. I think that tells us we've got a good goalkeeper. And then we beat Reading in the playoff promotion final. Get in there, lad. So that means we're going back to back with the promotions. And when I do see the side we've got, I'm kind of not surprised at all. Yes, Leroy was a bad buy, but we do have a gear. Our Argentine in goal, but we've only got 5 seasons left of his services, because then he turns 27 and we might lose him if we're not careful. And we would have to release him, as Bellini doing amazingly. But isn't our top scorer? He's joined with Gaspard Besnard, one of our day 1 players, and turning out like prime Zidane, as we did loan out all our players, and we do have now a good backup striker. Magnussen's done brilliantly. Also Moussa Thakan, and also Charlie Blackburn, who does look a decent backup goalkeeper. And if we don't get promoted this season, maybe he could be the starting one, because Aguirre turned 22 in the off-season. I really don't like it. The new Martinez, yeah, he could be gone if we don't get promoted, because he'd be 23 in the championship. And will we win the UCL in 4 years? Well, we've only just got over £4 million, 6 million. And for a championship team, of course, we do want to send 2 scouts out. Not being able to sign free agents as well, it's going to be very difficult. As the first scout, I'm going to go Singapore, and then I'm going to go Canada. I know we've had our luck with Asian teams, but time to search the Americas, as I am looking for that central slot. Again, to replace Leroy, who unfortunately was a bad signing. You can't go and win them all, as we definitely need a right or left player. I say right, not because I don't know my lefts and rights, I actually do. It's because a lot of players at the club are actually right compared to left-hand sided, with our best being Dika Riwoot, who is the Indonesian 19-year-old, and he's actually left-footed, so I am going to try him on the left-hand side. And unfortunately, our new scouting mission didn't bring us any wingers, but it did bring us Joshua Gian with the purple hair. I'm a big fan, with potential to be special at only 17. He's come to the university team early, but he can definitely have an impact. Probably out on loan season 1, as now we've got to look for the left-hand sided players, and we don't have much money left. I think we've just got bang on 1.6 mil. Our scouting, very expensive, and our contracts, because now we're in the championship, and now we want to explore a new country with Tyler Hale. He is sure to grab us some goals, but then again, he might not start. With Dika Riwoot now a left-hand sided player at 70 rated, and a bench worthy of maybe a Premier League sneak promotion. Ratings we now have are probably better than Ipswich Town's were, but one thing that really interests me is the nationalities we've got in the team. We've got an Australian, an Argentine, an Irish, a Malaysian, an English, an Ecuadorian, and also a South African. And that's only the defence. We've got someone from the Maldives out on loan. We've got Magnussen, hopefully back next season with a bang. We've got Gian, who got a loan to Club Bruges. What an improvement. And also a new left mid, another Indonesian in Kayade, who could really step it up for us, as our best player goal-wise is Kalansi Bernili. always outscored somehow. And this is it overall now. I mean, Leroy, one of the worst signings. The signings have been the worst players, apart from, of course, the striker and goalkeeper, who are only going to get older, and, oh, it's not promotion. I was very optimistic to keep hope, but we just finish outside the playoffs. A point off Hull City means we will stay in the championship, and at least that's more time to grow, more time to make some signings, as we lost to Swansea in the FA Cup, Bolton in the Carabao Cup, and now no BSM trophy, it's just the championship playoffs, which we didn't get ourselves in. Next season we do have a central midfielder come in, as now our focus has gone from left mid all the way over to right mid, with £7 million to spend, and you have no idea how much this is itching. Not the itch to actually spend money, but this hat. It's old now. Almost 8 months old, as we can make a few changes to this side now. And just like that, we've flicked to them. We've got a full over 70 rated squad. Left-hand side could still do with some change, because yes, I've put Ruwert back on the right-hand side. And also behind him could change. I mean, look at the defensive stats. On Knockway, a defender with 95 pace, good passing, good dribbling, but 52 defending. That's like I used to be in real life. That is literally like Harry Maguire level. I mean, it's only 4 weeks to a cam, 4 weeks to a left midfielder. So that is where I'm going to train him, as I'm also going to put my scouts out. The usual to Ireland, and then the other one I'm choosing Sweden. I'd love to find the new Zlatan, although I'm searching for wingers really. And whilst I'm on that subject, what about the big teams? Searching for 18 to 21, but now searching in the Premier League? These players should have some good growth, and look, there's some very good ratings. Even one at 83, I mean, we'll never afford Mathei Bertrand. And also Santiago Castro, don't even want them at the moment anyway. In fact, I'll take the second choice behind him, who does have better defensive stats. Yes, I am searching with the academy, but I'm going to get a guaranteed good defender in Martins. And yes, this is another nationality. We've gone Dutch now. This university welcomes everyone. As anyone else to welcome through our academy, and let's just take a moment to say how much it's improved. Look at all the 60 ratings. And the sheer amount of players we have now is ridiculous. I would take you through this loan list, but there's that many bloody players on it. And then some players off it who I need to put on training drills. Stan Martins is one of them. He's improved straight away, and he's got a lot of play styles. Didn't expect that, and then I didn't expect to be seeing more players out on loan, including David Regan, who looks probably our best at 71. He was a left back, but now we're speaking about our right back, who, oh my days, jumps up 10. He jumps up 10 ratings, going from a right back to a left mid. Maybe Trent needs to change position. Wish I would have played him from the start, or changed him at the start, as the defense looks weakest, but still it's bloody good for the championship. And it's proved to play good, because look at that, no playoffs this year. We are jumping into the Premier League with the youth university we've built, the worldwide university, and that is a big damn trophy. As also looking at this league, Aston Villa in 11th. Unai Emery's got to be sacked, as I'm surprised we still haven't done a cup run, getting beat by Blackburn 2-1. However, in the Carabao, we reached the final, losing to Leicester. Coming so close then to lose it. A shame, but still we're not ashamed. Overall, with our squad, because it looks goddamn beautiful. Our two best players though, one being approached by Real Madrid, and now over 23. And not scoring most goals as Bellini, outscored by Magnussen. One step closer to throwing this hat in the air, as now we've got some internationals, but my thoughts are on Bellini and also our regen Martinez, because they are now getting older, and the rule is once they turn 27, we must release them. So it's either sell them or take the gamble of keeping them as one more year, as our budget is £40 million, and I'm going to do what I said with the academy. One scout this season, we're going to stick with our man Moretti, and we're going to go where's worked best. We're going to go Japan, because Asia's worked. In finding players, as this time, one, I'm going to get all the scouting out. And 2, we need a defender, as I'm just looking at all these nationalities. Look at the flag. It changes with every player. And I don't know what it is about this rebuild, but I'm really enjoying going to different nationalities. As we need to sign a defender, I'd say. Not a right back. I do trust Martins. Maybe another centre-back below the age of 20. And now we are in the Premier League. I'm going to be looking outside of it. I'm going to go La Liga because I haven't found a Spanish player, I don't think, in this team. And this is actually a good one. We've got Slavko Dragovic, probably from La Masia, as the other option we already have a nationality from. In Josh Diliu, who's a rating better, but honestly, I think I'll rob from Barcelona, and actually, he's Serbian. I didn't notice that at first, but my days has the wages gone up. 70k a week, and he's not even first team worthy, leaving us £18 million, but first, let's check that scout again. Maybe find a regen, but better, Tomiyasu. No shade meant to be thrown, as Ken Hiranuma, Matsusita, these almost worth £1 million, as the academy's now shorter, but still good players to loan. As for the second season running, our loan list is very big, or I thought it was. A few 66s, 67s, a 72 in Renzo Wong, 19-year-old still. And Aaron Sheridan, never heard of him, but almost 90 physical. We just buy a defender, then it turns out we have one under our nose all along, and he's better than Dragovic, who's now 20-year-old, the left centre-back. So he's probably going to get dragged out. No growth in Gian, but the team around it, we do have a 90-rated keeper. One of the world's best, but here is our issue. We can't win the UCL next year. If we do the year after, our Emiliano Martinez regen, we can chance at keeping him. But that means we've got to win the UCL in 2 years' time, so the clock is ticking. And we finish 6th. So you know what? I'm going to gamble on keeping him next year. But that means next year we've got to get the UCL, and then we've got to win the Champions League. If we can make it happen, we'll try to, as Northampton beat us in the FA Cup, though. He probably didn't play in that, but he probably played in the Leeds defeat. But I think I have got a tactic, and this isn't for the faint-hearted. Yes, we are the university team, and we have relied upon our academy, but this season, I am shutting the doors of it, as we do have 51 players, and we really do need to spend our money on an absolutely world-class, super-duper good centre-mid. Just a shame as well how we've stuck ourselves to this formation, or have we? Because we could change to this. Yes, it's a risk with the central midfielders, but it's an extra striker into the team, and also an extra centre-back. Sheridan, who is back, but then again, he's getting old, 22. And let's not beat around the bush anymore. Let's try and find a centre-mid or a striker. Sebastian Bernard, he's 81 rated. A little bit on the pricey side, but Vic Dubois, he's had a rival at Arsenal, but he's cheap and probably won't be playing. And for 18.5 million, he's a young Belgian striker. Could be the regen or reincarnation of Romelu Lukaku. So let's just take the chance, because he did play well in Europe. I know I just made a mistake. I forgot the hat, but it's back. As this team is on the march, one of the biggest risks I took changing formation. Doesn't look like it's paid off, although the players haven't changed their ratings. I mean, 2 strikers has. Bellini helping Dubois reach a rating like Rom. I mean, he is 85. I think Lukaku's 86, 85. It'll be on screen. As now Aguirre's 26. He's going to turn 27 very soon and get released as Bellini's 25. And he's 88 rated. Everything rides in maybe getting in this Champions League. If not, they could be discarded, as we do have Dubois scoring the most. Then Clancy got the second most, and he didn't even start in the team. As no, we finish 5th in the Prem, meaning we won't get UCL. Our 2 best players might be leaving, and we didn't even go far in the FA Cup. Round 4 exit to Chelsea, and a round 3 exit in the Carabao to Arsenal. I don't believe it. What forgetting the hat's actually done to this team is horrendous. However, we do have the Europa League, and 21st, is that going through? Yikes, I mean, we did go through. We beat Sparta Praha 4-3. Then we beat Torino, and then we beat Lazio, setting up a final because we beat West Ham 2-0. Our goalkeepers pulled through, and I do not believe it. We've won the Europa League 4-2 over Feyenoord, meaning we do win that trophy and we will be in the Champions League. £74 million. This is absolutely massive. Champions League football scraped, and if you look at Agir's age, 26-year-old, and I'm gonna very loosely make it a rule: if he doesn't turn 27 before we finish our signings, he can stay in the team. Same with Bellini, although he is 25. I mean, if we don't win the UCL this year, Agir is gone, done, and released. If we keep this 90 rated, I mean, his contract is even running out. We need to win the UCL, so come on. We've got to get a move on and spend our money well. I've even bought more coaches, as I'm going to change up the shape again. I do want to get 2 strikers, although I really can't find a shape, because I thought this would work with the 2 cams, but we really struggle for defensive midfielders. And I haven't thought of this, but maybe just go flat 4-4-2. Get a midfielder in for Go, who's a centre-back playing in that position. And if we get a strong one, maybe 87 rated, we could really be on for this UCL title. Every position has quality, and even does the bench, because don't forget, it's young, it definitely will grow. And as I said, Brazilian is definitely the country I want to look into. And this hat is really getting itchy, as I don't think they have any good players. Miguel's no good. Fernandez, Da Costa. Goes without saying we're not using our own academy because I don't really trust it. To find the good players, as maybe we look in France instead. Pogba, we recently did a video on. Kante's a good player. But Loic Laurent is the best one, and he's 77. Maybe we look closer to home as Jordan Leroy at Bournemouth. Is that the man we signed? Or did we actually sign his brother? Well, I'm looking around the centre mids now, and no, we do have a Leroy here, so it's not the same one. Seems we signed the wrong Leroy. And I'm going to take a gamble on this man. Hope he's the next De Bruyne. And you know what? I think we're done, and let's see what happens. Will we be keeping our best player, or will he be going on a free if this team doesn't win the UCL title? And there we go. We didn't see it happen, but he is running out of contract. Is Agir, because once it runs out, he's gone. We cannot renew it. At least he's not the only team carrying out. We've got Besnard, Glyn, 2 youth players, and then down here, our Malaysian Hamduchi, who's been pretty good. There's been a lot of surprises in this save. And this is probably the biggest one. Vic Dubois, our latest signing. Or not our latest, sorry. I forgot about Leroy just behind him. As this team is very well rounded. Not great ratings all around. And yes, I know what I've just said kind of doesn't make sense in your head. But what I'm trying to say is you don't need a lot of 90 rateds. Just a lot of good players putting the work in to get Dublin to the top of the Premier League. So that is the Premier League one. However, never any luck in the FA Cup, round of 16 defeat. And round 3 of the Carabao, we were beaten 1-0 by Wolves. And we were beaten in the Super Cup because we did win the Europa League. And is that a bad sign of things to come in this next game? Or next tournament, the UCL, but we did finish spotless. 8 wins out of 8. We conceded quite a few goals though. Shows vulnerability, but we didn't concede to Real Madrid. We did concede to Monaco, and then we did concede to Chelsea, but we have flown through to the final against Borussia Mönchengladbach. So we can keep our keeper for this game only, which we still could lose as Borussia Mönchengladbach's team. Looks like they've done the same as us, apart from go for real life young players. And I am so ready to get this hat off my head as away kit against home kit. Now, this isn't a kit clash at all, is it, game? Hate it, as they've got some Dutch defenders, some Belgians. Really want to win this game because I really want to get this hat off my head and celebrate as this kit clash. It is awful, but our players, they should know each other from playing together and also studying in the university that they play for us. Now get that ball in the middle. It is Dubois. That's the wrong pass, but if we could get the header on, no. It's just a kit clash game that will need quality to separate it. You can always tell our striker, Bellini with the trim, the Mr. T, the mohawk down the middle, and Leroy, our KDB, with the ginger ponytail. He tries a shot. That's why he didn't score many goals this year. Missing terribly as Leroy again, though. Now we're going over the top. If we could try and get that cross in, we've missed it. Early ball. A shocking half of mistakes, as this second cannot be the same. Valise Tackled by our flying up centre half, as now this one's going to try and fly. Very tall boy, that one, as now Besnard through the middle into Bellini on the turn and shot. A player I always thought would score the most goals for us, but it turns out he doesn't, and I kind of see why with that one, as Besnard from day one. At least they haven't tested our keeper out. What a challenge that one was. Come on, we need a goal. Now I can tell who our striker is upfield here. Dubois going to the back post, but if we pull it back, Bellini use the dummy run, he'll go himself, and now he'll put the ball into the middle. Dubois, it is a foul! But it must have not been a foul on him as he strikes the post, but now momentum at the end of this one. Just got to chase them down, and hey, Bellini does win the ball. He could get a chance off here. Makes Dubois out of the way, and it's now with 4 minutes to go, and the keeper cannot save it. 1-0 late on, it is a pile-up as the university team could go from campus to Champions League. That didn't have the same ring to it, but this man is outgrowing it because he's 23, 24, but that is a finish of a veteran in his craft as the throw-in comes in and it's done. A very late winner, as I am honestly exhausted with this one. For Dublin, and you might tell in my voice, it has been a very long save, but we have done it. Champions League winners. And I don't know who that is lifting the trophy. I believe it might be our left back. Or maybe it's Kiwood. I believe it's Kiwood, because he was actually a stocky winger. And a huge win, as I just wish the real team, the licensed version, was actually in the game, and I didn't have to rebuild the club. Enjoyed the nationalities as well. If you want me to do something with that in the future, let me know in the comments below, as the hat is finally thrown.